I still remember it was my CA inter exam. So my elder brother, who is way elder to me by 12 years, so he's more of a fatherly figure to me and less of a fighter sibling. We never fought like brothers and sisters. And my friends were playing cricket, gully cricket, and I was tempted to go. And I had a paper tomorrow, some theory paper. And my brother asked, "What happened? Why are you looking into the outside the window again and again?" I said, I can't resist the temptation to go down and play."
Hmm.
Then he asked, "Then go and play." I said, "No, but tomorrow I have a paper. I have to do last minute revision." And he said, "See, look, Amrut, if you have really worked hard the whole year, there is no point in last minute revision. It will not make any difference. And if you have not studied for the whole year, then anyway, that will also not make any difference." Last minute revision. That was such a great answer that yes, this last minute revision is overrated. Huh? Trust me. If you work on your character day in, day out, you don't have to work on your personality separately. Now, let me tell you what is character and what is personality. Character is what you do when nobody is watching you. When you're all alone, locking yourself inside the bedroom. Yeah, I have a choice. Now that the session will be over by 6:30, I'll go into the bedroom. No, Alok is not going to watch me. Nobody's going to watch me. Right? I have a choice whether to flirt with a girl on WhatsApp or read a couple of pages from Robin Sharma. Right? And that choice will decide my character. But nobody is going to watch me, so I have a lot of liberty. But if I take the right choice and work on my character, that choice will decide whether a renowned institute like Chartered Accountancy will invite me at such events. And what you are watching me is just a personality. Okay, personality is how you behave when the world is watching you.
Right.
A good personality is just a byproduct of great character. So what you
Absolutely.
do day in, day out. Okay, I honestly, I did not prepare much for today's session. Why? Because I don't have to work on personality separately. I've been working on my character day in, day out because I'm reading books the whole day. I don't have to prepare for exam. I don't have to prepare for interviews. But if, I was in early morning, if I was scrolling those Instagram feeds and watching Kapil Sharma for 5 hours, then today you would have seen lack of confidence in me. Okay. Then other things become important. And then the personality development courses. Yeah, you have heard personality development courses. Have you ever heard about character development courses? Never. But we know that history is a tangible evidence that we assign great legendary status to people for what they are and not what they appear to be. Right? What they are is character. What we appear to be is personality. Yeah. All right. So we learned about the storage technique, the story technique. Then we talk about the importance of recall and how your revision should be. Right. Uh, what about numbers? You need to remember section numbers. Right. So there are some hacks. Now there are some numbers. Now again, numbers are intangible. 1, 2, 3, 4. You can't see on your mental canvas, and they are just numbers. One thing what I used to do is there are some numbers. For example, 32. Now we have 32 teeth. One set of teeth has 32 teeth. Okay. And say, for example, I want to remember Partnership Act was 1932. Now 19 is okay. We don't have to remember because everything is 19. Now 32, what did I do is partnership and battisi, connect it. Because when I remember this battisi or a set of teeth, 32 will come to my mind because a human being has 32 teeth. Now you might ask that every number doesn't have such special case, right? But wherever possible, now 21, these 21 modaks are offered to Ganpati. So 21 has a special case now. So modak and whatever you have to remember, you associate it through a story technique. Got it? Now, uh, what about other numbers? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, or a big number or other section numbers. So there is something called a rhyme technique where you convert the numbers into tangible nouns by taking help of rhymes. My rhymes, which I use for all the sections of income tax and laws, was 1 sun, 2 shoe, 3 tree, 4 door, 5 dive, 6 wicks, 7 heaven, 8 gate, 9 wine, 10 hen, 0 hero. Okay. I quickly repeat. These are my rhymes. You can use your own word. Doesn't matter. 1 sun, 2 shoe, 3 tree, 4 door, 5 dive, 6 wicks, 7 heaven, 8 gate, 9 wine, 10 hen, 0 hero. Now, suppose you want to remember my WhatsApp number. I want you to remember my WhatsApp number because I share book summaries on WhatsApp even today. So it's a good way to be in touch. If that falls within the protocols, is that okay if I share my WhatsApp number? Alok?
Yeah, I think so. It's better to avoid sharing on this platform.
Achha.
And you can just have some other number.
Sure. Now, say, for example, let's take 9594. Okay. Or let's take 8532. This is some random number, 8532. Now, what does 8 represent? Gate.
Gate. Yeah.
8 gate. What does 5 represent? 5 dive. What does 3 represent? 3 tree. What does 2 represent? 2 shoe. Right? So, gate, dive, tree, and shoe. Make a story.
Okay.
They are all, you can see, touch, and feel. They are tangible nouns. It's that easy. You might think initially it will take time, but through practice, it becomes so fast. Trust me. For me, it's a child's play. It's all mental game. Practice, 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 practice. And I have thousands of stories in my mind today. Okay, I can't promise that if you put me on the exam today, I will pass out. But I have the confidence that I still remember those points. The stories are still fresh in my mind because DDLJ is still fresh in my mind, which I've watched like 20 years ago. Are you convinced? I did not bother to remember. I did not revise DDLJ, but I still remember Shah Rukh Khan, Kajol meeting in Europe and all those fun romantic comedy. Yeah, and then he coming back and at Punjab and at Kheti and at arrogant Amrish Puri, everything. Right? So that's the fun. I mean, memory is so much of fun. But we have made it so serious and boring.
Yeah.
So Tony Buzan has won these. There are some memory championships in the world, and he has won some 8 times in a row. And then out of boredom, he said, "Okay, now let somebody else win. I'm quitting." Like Steffi Graf, she used to win all the Wimbledons, and voluntarily she said, "Okay, now let somebody else win." So that level he is. So remember this name, Tony Buzan, and I've kind of made a lot of summaries of his books. There is needless to mention whatever books I mention or authors, they are summarized in Booklet app, and you can have access to them. All right. Now coming to increasing your reading speed. Again, Tony Buzan has written books on these. See, when we were taught the word apple for the first time when we were a child, and our English teacher taught the word apple. So how she taught us how to read it? APPLE, apple. हम ऐसा बोलते थे बचपन में. Do we read in the same manner today as adults? No, we straight away read the word apple. Now, unfortunately, our education stopped there. We were not taught that if you can read the entire word apple without reading the individual letters APPLE, then you can also read group of words without reading individual words. I repeat, if you can read the entire word without reading the individual letters, then you can also read group of words, like group of 2-3 words at a time without reading the individual words. Because if I'm looking at my laptop, so I'm on my MacBook right now, all right, my vision is on Alok. I can see Alok on my screen, but indirectly, I can also see the light stand, which is on my left, and and the two books which are on my right. Got it? So our peripheral view is almost 1.5 meters. What is peripheral view? This is my direct view where I'm looking at Alok. But keeping my eyeballs on Alok, I'm still indirectly looking at the light stand and the books on my right. Now, if the peripheral view is 1.5 meters, and what is the breadth of a book? Less than 1 foot? Less than 1 foot? Are you getting my point?
Yeah.
Means we are underutilizing the capacity of our eyes. Unfortunately, we were taught by our teachers that you have to read only one word at a time. I'm not blaming them because even they didn't know that. All right. You can read more than one word at a time. So normally people read this way, right? From left to right, unless you are reading Urdu, ulta. So it's left to right. Speed readers read this way. I read this way.
Top to down.
Tony Buzan read this way. Yeah. So I have taught my mind to read 4 words at a time. Tony Buzan can read 7 words at a time. He can literally read this way. I'm not reached at that level like Tony Buzan yet. So what you have to do is exactly when you're reading a book, say for example, this is my book. What we usually do is we straight away look at the first word. Okay. Now the first word here is and I'll first read out the line for you. Thanks to the technology, we need not insist a book in hand style of reading. This is the line. I repeat, thanks to the technology, comma, we need not insist a book in hand style of reading. This is the line from my book. Now, usually what we do is we read the word thanks, then we read the word to, then we read the word the, then we read the word technology. Whereas our eyes capacity is much, much bigger than that to read 4 words at a time. But we are not taught so. We are taught that slower you read, the more you understand. Biggest mistake, biggest myth. So what I do is, words are overrated. Words are just messengers. The real message is in the meaning of those phrases, of those group of words. For example, I am talking to Alok is the line. Isolate the word I. Although it has some meaning, there is no big picture meaning. I. Just if I say I, what are you going to understand? Nothing. But let us add 2 more words to it. I am talking. It's a group of 3 words. Make sense? Now it has a bigger meaning.
Yeah.
Now add 2 more words. I am talking is one group of words. To Alok is another group of words. And suddenly the picture is complete. Are you getting my point? But what we do is we read I, then to, then talking, then to Alok. No. ऐसा नहीं करना है. So what you have to do is, see, how many of us complain that, I doze off while reading a book? Everybody. I used to complain. Huh? I get started with of enthusiasm, but after 2-3 pages, I doze off. In fact, I have some books in my bookshelf. It's my top secret. And if I'm suffering from sleep deprivation, then there are some specific books I pick, and I'm in my sweet dreams within minutes. Don't ask the authors, please. That will be a big insult. So these are my sleeping book pills. And I have hidden them secretly because I don't show it to everybody because they're so boring. Jokes apart. So why is it that we complain that we doze off while reading? But have you ever heard somebody saying that I doze off while streaming those Instagram news feeds? Never. Unless the movie is very boring, like Thugs of Hindustan, which was my biggest blunder. I took my friends to the theater and aaj tak gali khata hu unki. Yeah, but then we get engaged in Bahubali. Right? Why? Because we are watching it. Now, we are seeing it. As I said, our seeing ability is so... Our eyes have evolved much, much, much more times than other senses in comparison to other animals. Why? I don't know. So as human beings, we first see, then listen, and then smell. Animals, most of the time, first smell, then listen, and then see. No wonder why only the human species have eyes have evolved so much. That's why we are ruling the animal kingdom.
Yeah.
Whereas this table which I have, I can't smell this table, but maybe my pet dog might be getting some smell from this glass table also. But we have lost the capacity to smell a glass, right? But I maybe have the ability to see something more than what my pet dog can see. So let's
True.
capitalize on our eyes, which have evolved the most. And we have lost the capacity to smell, to hear in comparison to other animals. तो करना क्या है? When we are reading, forget about the words. Words are not important. What is important is the meaningful phrases, the group of words. Ignore the individual words and start seeing the meaning, the concept on your mental canvas, like a movie. Trust me, I don't read books. I see the books as movies. And then my imagination का जो brain है वो open up होता है. So it's a movie now and I don't doze off. Got it? Even if my eyes are on the words, my mind is on the meaning. The movie has started on my imaginative canvas. See, this skill can't be taught, but it can be learned. It was very frustrating for me for almost 8 months to undo the old habit of reading one word at a time. That was more frustrating. तो पहले वो करना है. We fall back again and again. We fall back to the old behavior and again start reading one word at a time. All right. Words are not important. I repeat again. The problem is that we give so much of importance to vocabulary and words, and then we underline that line, highlight. I've seen so many friends, girls and boys, girls more, while studying or reading even non-academic books, they take pencil, rubber, scale,
Bookmark.
highlighter of 3 colors, fluorescent green, fluorescent orange, pens 3 color, red, green, blue. These are as if they are going on a war with these weapons. And they highlight so much on each page that the non-highlighted part looks like highlighted. So see, you don't remember by decorating a book. If you say that I've understood a concept by underlining or by highlighting, then it's like saying, I learned a recipe by garnishing coriander on a ready-made dish. Just a crude analogy. Okay, no, this is not the way. The best way to internalize a new piece of knowledge, academic or non-academic, is to reproduce that piece of knowledge after reading, after learning it, in your own personal, broken, desi vocabulary. What we do is we give too much of importance to the language of the author, the language of the textbook. No. As examiners, I'm very sure they want to know what you have understood. They don't want to know what the author is saying. But in memory ke chakkar mein, we think that we have to remember the words and the language of the author. No. We all have our own personal vocabulary. You know what? It's very true. Look, you are born and brought up in a different culture in one part of Mumbai. I am brought up in Thane. Now this table, okay, there are a lot of things here which is not part of the screen. There's my 2 mobile phones, 1 book, a wire hai. I might say this table is cluttered. Alok might say this table is crowded. The meaning is same. The message is same. The words are different. Foreign authors use the words isn't, aren't. We Indians don't have this habit. We say is not, are not. We don't have the habit of saying isn't and aren't. So if we try to copy that, we tend to forget it because that's not my language. I agree, English is not our first language. Still, even in English, we have our own personal language.